So there's this town in Montana where you can soak in natural hot springs, visit a literal castle, and experience over 1,000 years of history, all in a place that people just usually drive right past. No, it's not Yellowstone. Nope, not Glacier either. No, it's not Butte. Why don't you stop guessing and just let me show you? Welcome back to the Rock Record. Let's talk rocks, and today we are exploring the rocks of the perfect day here in White Sulphur Springs, Montana.
Every day starts with good coffee and local food. Wild Oats Baking is where I'm grabbing a bite of breakfast to fuel up today before exploring. While I was enjoying my stellar Southwest bowl, I couldn't help but notice that we were sitting in a valley that's pretty geologically active. In the cool morning air, you could see a little bit of steam rising in the distance and smell this kind of eggy kind of smell. That's our first clue that something interesting is happening underground here. White Sulphur Springs sits just above 5,000 feet in elevation, surrounded by mountains that tell stories of ancient thrust faults and deep crustal processes. But we'll get more into that later. Let's go see some history first.
Alrighty, so this is probably the last thing that you would expect to see in central Montana, but a literal castle. This was built in 1892 by Byron Sherman using hand-cut granite blocks hauled from the Castle Mountains. So obviously, as a geologist, this building fascinates me. Sherman chose to haul granite from miles away instead of using local stone, which tells us about the different rock types in this area. This granite formed from magma that cooled underground, creating large mineral crystals that you can actually see in the blocks. Okay, it says they're currently conducting a tour. So we need to go to the front door and ring the doorbell. Where do you think the front door is? It's a castle. Do they have front doors? I feel so awkward just walking around this building. Okay, so this one says to check in at the Carriage house. Oh, now the door's open over here. The tour must have just ended.
This building is a time capsule that tells a story of ambition, elegance, and frontier grit. It was constructed in 1892 by entrepreneur Byron Roger Sherman, and the hand-cut stone was hauled from the Castle Mountains by oxen. Not only just an imposing fortress to look at, it's also poised on the highest point in town, overlooking the Smith River Valley. Honestly, this place is worth visiting just for the view alone. If you're on the upper level and look out any window, it is just simply spectacular. There is more to look at than just the rocks on the outside here. Inside, you'll find exotic oriental rugs, marble bathrooms, and Victorian decorations. The castle was truly fit for a king and has been very well preserved over the year by the Marr County Historical Society, both interior and exterior. The Castle Museum and Carriage House is open from May 15th to September 15th, and if you're in the area, it is definitely worth a visit and a tour.
Alright, now it's time for a little shopping because there is one spot that I definitely need to make a stop at because it is close to my heart. This is not a sponsored segment by any means. I just truly love what this company represents. Let's go find out.
Most of the time I buy these pants online, so it was super exciting to stop by their store for the first time. Red Ants Pants was born out of necessity in 2004 when Sarah Calhoun realized hardworking women lacked workwear designed for their needs. As a former mine geologist, I know firsthand how important proper workwear is for women in trades and outdoor industries. But this company is known for more than just their pants. In fact, some people don't even know that they make work pants. Here in Montana, they are known for something extra special. They started the famous Red Ants Pants Music Festival, held right here every last weekend of July, which brings thousands of visitors here. The festival supports the Red Ants Pants Foundation, which focuses on women's leadership, working family farms, and rural communities. So, what's with the name, though? Did you know that in a red ant colony, the female ants do all the work? That's the inspiration behind everything that they do here. All right, now for the main geological attraction.
I am committing, y'all. It is 95 degrees out, and we're going in a hot spring. So we are here at the Spa Hot Springs Motel, and these waters have been drawing people here for 1,000 years. And once you understand the science, you'll understand why. Native Americans called this place wampum waters, meaning good or beneficial. Flathead, Blackfeet, and Crow tribes all travel here, and even though they were often at war, a truce had to be made for this valley to become neutral ground, where everyone could share the healing waters. The water emerges at 130 degrees from a 35-foot well and circulates through the entire motel complex for heating before ending up in these pools at 98 to 105 degrees. But here's what makes these springs extra special: the chemistry. This water contains 830 parts per million of bicarbonate, plus sodium, potassium, sulfates, and chlorides. German chemists have compared it favorably to Baden-Baden, one of Europe's most famous spa destinations. That slight sulfur smell comes from hydrogen sulfide, created when water dissolves what are probably pyrite minerals deep underground. The high bicarbonate content suggests that this water has been in contact with limestone during its underground journey. What's happening here is called deep circulation geothermal. Surface water seeps down through fractured rocks, possibly along the Willow Creek thrust fault. It gets heated by Earth's natural geothermal gradients and then returns to the surface. But one of the most amazing things, they drain and refill all 3 pools every night with fresh geothermal water. No chemicals are added, just pure geological processes at work. All right, after the hot springs and the heat, I think it's time for a snack and maybe a drink. So let's go find one.
If there's one thing that surprised me about this small town in the middle of nowhere, Montana, it's this.
I'm a geologist, so I know I'm supposed to concentrate on geology, but can we talk about how the most surprising thing about White Sulphur Springs is the amazing food scene? Like, what is happening here to warrant such high quality, amazing food at like reasonable prices? Because the food scene here is top notch. For a town of 1,000 people? What?
So yeah, you basically can't go wrong eating anywhere here in town. They have quite the surprising range for dining, from the Stockman's restaurant serving beef from just 6 miles away to Bar 47 for burgers and nachos. But for cocktails, I decided to head to the Jawbone, which kind of offers this speakeasy-like atmosphere with Montana-made spirits. I wasn't super hungry, so I just got an appetizer that was delicious, and of course, some dessert because I am not missing out on that. If you're more of a beer person, Two Bassett Brewery on Main Street offers everything from ales to stouts, housed in a former auto parts store. As the sun sets here, you realize that this isn't just a town built around hot springs. It's a place where geology, history, and community all come together.
White Sulphur Springs proves that you don't need to visit famous destinations to experience some incredible geology and history. Sometimes the best adventures are in places of just over 1,000 people in a random place in Montana where hot springs have been bringing people together for over 1,000 years. Which destination do you think I should explore next? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more geology from this area, keep an eye out for my upcoming video on the roadside geology of Highway 89 from Livingston to White Sulphur Springs. We'll explore the geological story of this entire region. So thanks so much for spending the day with me. Until next time, keep exploring the stories written in stones. Ow, I just hit myself in the face.